This is Bob, and we're shooting a video this afternoon of the Walkera Master CP 200 class helicopter that is an excellent platform to be able to move from your fixed pitch helicopters to the collective pitch helicopters, and have a platform that you can use to get more aggressive in your flying. A helicopter that's got a lot of power yet is very stable. With the Walkera 6-axis gyro. Let me zoom in for just a second on the Walkera 6-axis gyro here, and that's the device there to the left of the motor. That's your 6-axis gyro that Walkera has, and that makes flying the helicopter very stable. Also, you'll notice the brushed motor. It does not have a brushless motor. It does have a brushed motor, but there is plenty of power with that motor. And it flies very well. Another great feature on this is the connections for the motor. You'll notice here that this connection goes to the main motor, and then this connection here, down here, goes to the tail motor. You can take and unplug those very easily to do any working on the helicopter. Also, just wanted to address for a second the simplicity of the helicopter. The landing gear is very sturdy, very rugged landing gear, which makes that nice for any kind of hard landings that you would have to have. Also, the placement of the servos are very nice. You can see back here in the back, the servos are there. They're very easy to get out and get back in. And the 3 servos are around the main shaft, which makes balancing the helicopter very nice. And that's a fly barless situation here, which is a lot more responsive and a lot better. Also, I wanted to address the servos. A lot of the forums out there are talking about the servos and the ease in which they strip. Now, the servos that are on the helicopter now are the exact same servos that came with the helicopter when we first got it, and we haven't had any crashes. We've had a few hard landings, but nothing major. But I went ahead through Banggood and purchased these servos from Banggood, and the pricing on the servos were very good. And I picked up 3 of the metal geared servos. They were $12 a piece, as opposed to other places that are as much as $14, $16 to $18 on these servos. Also, I purchased a Storm 1100 milliamp battery, 35C Storm battery for this, which is very nice and a lot of power, and it'll give you about 8 to 8.5 minutes of flying time. And but the battery that came originally with it is an expensive battery. It's over $30 on the places that I can find it, but this is about $21. We've gotten that from HeliPal, so that has made it very nice to be able to get multiple batteries so that you can fly this. But you do need to be careful about the brushed motor, because it does get hot, so you'll need to spend a little bit of time letting it cool off in between that, as opposed to a brushless motor, which would be a lot less than that. But these metal geared servos are going to work nicely once the original plastic servos go out. But I just wanted to address that. Also, we got some tail gear parts here for the tail motor in case a tail strike or something happens there. Also got those from Banggood. So part availability is very nice for this helicopter. Banggood has a good assortment of parts. UJ Toys out of Houston has a good assortment of parts, and then Xheli and HeliPal also have good assortment of parts, which will get to you pretty quick. So, but this helicopter it's a great platform, very stable with Walkera's 6-axis gyro. And that does make it very nice for being able to fly it, and it's a good forum to be able to advance from just regular flying to start thinking about doing 3D with this helicopter, and it does very nice 3D maneuvers. So it's a great platform for that. Very rugged, very durable, very easy to work on. So this is a good helicopter, and it's a good size. And it's very powerful, and even with having a brushed motor, it still is very powerful, and we're able to fly it and talk about that. But another thing that I wanted to talk about is the binding process. I wanted to zoom in on the transmitter, let you guys see the transmitter. And one of the things that I discovered, and we're having some problems getting the helicopter bound, is the fact that you've got to have these switches in the off position. If you don't have the switches in the off position, it will not bind properly, and you'll not get the light that will be on the receiver to stay solid. if you have these switches in the on position. And you'll notice that they're now in the off position, but you'll want to make sure that they're all the way up. This one really doesn't affect anything, but this switch here is in the 0 position. This switch here is in the 0 position as well. Also, you'll want to make note on the top of the transmitter the directions that it gives you in regards to your throttle hold, and also over here on your idle up mode, idle up 1 and idle up 2 on this side over here. So if your transmitter, if you have another transmitter that may be opposite of that, so be careful with that to make sure that you observe that. But your throttle hold is right here, a very important switch on the helicopter that was already set up. But we've made no changes in any of the settings or any of the parameters that's in the helicopter thus far, and the helicopter flies just great, right out of the box. But this is the Devo 7 transmitter, and but one of the downsides is the fact that this is a sort of a difficult transmitter to understand, and it's got lots and lots of directions for it, and it's kind of complicated to get to know. So you're going to have to spend some major time getting to know the transmitter and some of the language there in regards to getting that thing to where you can feel comfortable moving back and forth with it. But at this point, we're going to take and do the binding process here and let you kind of see the binding process here, because it is a little bit different than what you would normally be used to. So we'll get started with the binding process here, and hopefully this will be a help to you as you progress with the Master CP. Okay, now we want to go through the binding process and let you kind of see what's going on with the binding process. First, we'll turn on the transmitter, and then we'll plug in the helicopter, and you'll get to see the process in which we go through to get the helicopter bound properly, and then at that point it'll be ready to go. So first of all, what we'll do is turn on the transmitter, and then we'll plug in the helicopter. You have about 10 seconds once you turn on the transmitter to get the helicopter plugged in with the battery. So you want to turn the transmitter on first, and then you want to plug in the helicopter. So here we go. Make sure you have the throttle hold off. You turn that off. Too close. Okay. Okay, you notice that the light is blinking on the receiver. Now it's blinked again. Now you'll notice here that the light is now solid on the receiver, and now that it is solid here, at this point, then you're ready to fly. But you do need to go through that process to get it going, because we've now got the throttle hold on over here, which kind of keeps you safe. And so you'll notice how we've got now a solid light here on the receiver, and the helicopter is now ready to fly. Once again, we just wanted to take a time to let you know about the Master CP. It does fly well. Simple helicopter as far as its construction goes, but it is powerful using the brushed motor here. And as long as you go through this proper sequence here to get the helicopter turned on, I've not seen that on any of the forums, so I thought it would be good to give you an update on the Master CP as far as its binding goes. Thank you.